Welcome to the penultimate round of ERL INDYCAR Series 3. We're here for round 12 in Japan. The race taking place in Twin Ring Motegi. Pole position held by Awful Catfish, who's been linked to returning to Formula E next season, which would be very interesting to see. Behind him, Niven Colby, the man entering this race second in the standings, but 45 points off the championship leader. Devin Butler starts third from Ironman Creole, and said championship leader Linus Eriksson, who needs to leave here with a points lead of, well, not actually that much more than what he has. All he has to do is leave here with a lead of 28 points. 27 points rather, and he will be champion, because of course fastest lap point means that it could come down to a tie. But the championship, due to that, still not over yet. Manny Medvec starts behind him from Gabriella Barton and Carson Thornburg. Then it's Lam Thorn, Kui, Tommy, Minot Q, Max Portcard, Pierre Gasly, and Akari Lopez from Bob Marino, Lek Loco, Dominic Hudson, Milsos Micah Daff Sanchez down in 20th for car number 72. Lewis Olsen starts last, right behind Ray Shen. And for the Malaysian World Drivers Champion back in season 22 of Formula E, well, this was where he took that very first of all of his ERL championships, and it was a very wonderful way to go out for season number 22. Of course, both INDYCAR and Formula E had dead heat to the championship, a six-way fight in season 1 of INDYCAR, and a tie heading into the final round in Japan. This time it seems like we're going to get another Japan title decider, but this race, well, stakes seem to be a lot lower for those involved. For Colby, he effectively is in a must-win situation here. Despite so many drivers mathematically being in with a shot of still being in the championship exiting this race, they all are in a must-win situation with Eriksson not scoring points, and that does not seem likely. So as the safety car peels into the pits, Catfish will lead the pack away from his countryman Niven Colby and the British driver Devin Butler. Armand Creole is fourth. Linus Eriksson is going for his first ever ERL championship in the same season where he took his first race win. And at the same place where Catfish took his first Drivers' Championship. It's the ERL INDYCAR Series in Twin Ring Motegi as we get underway. Heading down the hill through turn number 1, and Colby actually got a pretty good start there. Eriksson as well, trying to close up to the back of Armand Creole. He's going to have to make up some ground, despite starting in the top 5, which already very good from the Swedish, not even Swedish, is he? Yeah, from the Swedish driver, sorry. I'm getting confused already this early on. The 31's just at a fastest sector as Catfish getting a track limits warning there. Heading through turn number 1, turn 6 rather, on lap 2. I'm really struggling to get my words out. That's just the stakes that we've got today as we go on board with car number 71, Devin Butler. And he's closing up to the back as Linus under threat from the AJ Foyt of Lebargton, the driver from the Philippines, the French-Philippine driver, really hampering the number 8's progress as he tries to go around the outside of Armand Creole as Butler tries to do the same on Niven Colby. Those two, Colby and Eriksson, are certainly going to fight on track at some point if this continues, but Catfish rounds the final turn at the head of the pack for the Hyperdrive BBX team. Devin Butler, fastest lap of 1:16.716. The fastest lap could decide whether or not Eriksson could leave here with the championship as board car in 12th. Fastest lap of 1:16.350. Devin closing up to the back of Colby. He's the fastest man in the top 10. If anything, he might actually be one of the fastest men out there. Team Penske saving what had been a pretty terrible season after round 3. But Butler's still trying to close up and not really able to do so. Armand, well, he's all over the back of that gearbox in that yellow, black and red Team Penske car powered by Pennzoil. coming through Spoon Corner. And Lewis Olsen, by the way, he's moved up into 20th position. No one's starting this race on the hards, which is a very, very interesting thing to see. As they now come through 130R. And this is the thing with IndyCars here. There's a high likelihood of single file racing due to us not having a standing start, which actually bunches the grid up more. So there's a possibility that we could bring grid starts in for some races, and for some others we keep it rolling. There's the 31 of Dominic Hudson fighting over 18th there. And Butler's dropped 2 seconds off the back of Niven Colby. That helps the two Malaysians, who aren't even fighting over the race lead. That helps Colby in his bid for the championship. But honestly, the amount of points that Ericsson has to lose the championship today, well, again, Colby is in a must-win situation. There's no other way around it. For the... Oh, Akari's got a 5-second time penalty off the track there for an OQ as his teammate going alongside with him. Side by side, coming through the hairpin. The 3 takes 13th. Good move there from the Frenchman. Both Power Motorsport drivers in with a shot at returning to Formula E with the Power Motorsport team. Colby in the 37, you can see him again, not really closing in on Catfish, but not losing time to Devin Butler. That is very, very crucial for the championship, because if Colby doesn't win today, then that's it. Ericsson is the champion as in comes Awful Catfish. Niven Colby leads on lap number 5 of 13 here in Twin Ring Motegi. And it's Catfish going on to the hards. Okay, very interesting strategy made there with 8 laps to go. Not too sure if the hards can make it to the end, but we are just looking at the 3 medium tyre runners in terms of how long the hards could possibly go, because on average it's roughly about 2 laps more. And you know Catfish, he often wins races with a full car puncture, especially in Japan. I mean, that's how he took his first championship, and that's how he took his first race win here in the ERL INDYCAR series in Detroit. That's how he did it, with that full car puncture. So right now for Catfish, he'd need to do some tire management if, you know, the 3 hard tire runners, medium tire runners come in. But at 55% for WEC Loco, I'm feeling cautiously optimistic for the 2 car. I think he should be able to do it. But Niven Colby's still out in front here in Twin Ring Motegi, in front of Devin Butler, Armand Creel and Linus Eriksson. And talks developing, saying that Linus could go to Power or DS Andretti, MS Amlin Andretti rather, as in comes Creel, Medvec and former race leader Niven Colby. Qui also into the pits. Hard tires going on for Qui, Creel and Colby. Medvec, I think he came in? No, Marino who came in too, and Medvec is onto the hards. So Catfish is now up into 12th, and with an OQ staying out there for another tour with WEC Loco. However, they are in the 40s in terms of tyre percentage. This race could be a 2-stopper if you don't pit onto the hards once. If you don't start the race on the hards, which no one did, and if you don't go onto the hards, well, this race is going to be the simplest 2-stopper that the world has ever seen. But most of the pack are, in fact, on the hard tyres if they've pitted, so strategy always very important in the ERL IndyCar series. And in terms of let's just say interesting strategy choices being made, as Catfish absolutely blitzes the competition going through Spoon Corner. I'm just looking down the order at some drivers who haven't stopped, and it's like none of them, well, it's only Tommy and Lam Fong to be truly worried about, because Lam Fong's in the 20s and Tommy will be too, and one of them's going to have to stay out longer than the other. Revolution's the only team to make that choice to extend so long. In come the top brass on lap 6, soon to be 7, here in Twin Ring Motegi. And OQ will take the lead. No, Tommy's going to take the lead, of course. He stays out. And what tires does Ericsson go onto? He's onto the mediums. He can make it to the end, but I'm not sure if it's going to be optimal. Wet Loco defending from Catfish as Ericsson is losing positions. He drops down to 9th, which is a net 6th position. It's still not enough for him to lose the championship, but it's enough to be worried about losing the championship, that's for sure. On board with car number 35 as Catfish is darting all around him. On board we go with the 2. And he's looking to try and go around the outside through the hairpin. Does he want to dive down the inside, though? No, he's going for the outside. Round the outside, tries to go the 2, and he can't make it work just yet, but he does. He just about gets it done. Colby follows him through. Here comes the 37 to absolutely dump him. That's second position for Niven Colby in his bid for the Season 3 championship. To keep his championship hopes alive, he needs to be up front all day long. He cannot afford a single mistake, or else that championship is going, for the first time in ERL history, to Sweden. Think about that. A Swedish champion in motorsport. I don't think I can list a single moment where that's happened. Anyway, the 2 Penske drivers have collided. That's Butler and Loco. I think, yes, the Hungarian comes into the pits. We've got 5 to go. Niven Colby in car number 37, leading the pack from Armand Creole and Awful Catfish. Devin Butler is 4th with that 5-second time penalty. Then it's Manny Medvec and Linus Eriksson. And look at that fight for second there. Creole heading them. Good stuff from the rookie in that number 90 car to be running up so high this late into the race. We've only got 5 laps to go after this. So for Armand, if he wants to win this race, he can pick up the pace. But if he wins this race, that's going to take away the championship hopes from Colby. As Eriksson up to P5, Butler looking for a way past Catfish, goes around the outside and takes that position. Matty Medvec up to P4 in front of the Malaysian driver, and I think Eriksson's going to follow him through. That's Linus Eriksson to P5, and for Catfish, he's just dropped from a net P1 to still P6. Bortkoff moves in front of Dominic Hudson. Wasn't a very hard pass to make, as Devin Butler thought he was going to try and do something to Armand there, but he won't. Matty Medvec's looking for a way round the outside on Linus Eriksson, but he won't. So they're all using attack mode here. 4 to go. Butler moves up into second position. He's into the slipstream of Niven Colby in front as Gabriella Bogdan goes down the inside on Matty Medvec. That will be 5th for the Philippine Frenchman. Catfish drops to 7th further back. We don't expect to see rain today, but it is ever so slightly overcast. Devin Butler now has caught up to the back of Niven Colby. We've got this, a train for the race lead. This is something that you only ever see early on in Formula E races, and then later on if the races are that insane. Here comes the 8, looking for a way past Armand, and he won't get it just yet. Devin Butler in the 71, though, looks for a way past Niven Colby. It won't change the outcome of this race yet as Tommy gets a time penalty, but Devin Butler takes the lead in Twin Ring Motegi. Tommy, of course, with that time penalty. Niven Colby, we go on board with the 37. Moves into the slipstream, heading down into 130R. Lebogson for AJ Foyt is up into 3rd position. But still, in terms of the championship, it is still going to Linus. At race's end, if it finishes like this, the points gained from all of his championship rivals. Wow, 45 points the margin heading into this race. For the championship to still be on, it has to be 26 leaving. Technically 25, so we can have a definitive champion. As Eriksson in the slipstream of Armand was using attack mode and attack charge at the same time. We've got drivers coming in for their second stops off the track there for Linus as he holds the inside, coming through the S's. The fight for 4th here. It will become 3rd once Butler's penalty is served, but he looks to the inside again for Linus, still alongside, and he holds the nerve and takes 4th. Good stuff. That is the move of the champion right there. As we go on board with car number 8, once again, you can watch He can watch Gabriel Labarton go side by side with Niven Colby. Effectively, this is the fight for the lead because Butler, while he's gained a second over Niven Colby, that 5-second time penalty would drop him outside of the top 6. Well, it would actually drop him down to 5th now. Yes, it would drop him down to 5th now. As Labarton through 130R, he's not going to try and make the move, is he? He won't try and make the move through the Casio triangle there. Ericsson trying to close up to the back for this fight, this P2 on the road. You could see drivers in. Butler's coming to the pits. Niven Colby leads. Labarton's got attack mode though. He's using push to pass too, and Marino's been given a 5-second time penalty as Labarton moves up into the race lead. Bob Marino has been given a time penalty for colliding with his own teammate. You don't want to do that. But Labarton now leads in front of Colby and Ericsson. And this is the point now when Niven Colby's tyres, they're going to be a lot closer to what the mediums are like. There's going to be that one point where they will cross over and the mediums will begin to wear faster than the hards. But it won't matter because those hard tyres, no matter what, they are the slowest tyres in the Firestone range. Those white walled hards, yes, they last for a long time. But is it worth it? Is it worth it if you are trying to go for the championship here? Because Ericsson is now 4/10 of a second behind Niven Colby. Gabriel Labarton is going for his first career race win, as Ericsson is closing up for his first career championship in the ERL. Coming through 130R, he's using push to pass. He's not going for the move at the Casio triangle. He is! Ericsson down the inside. Side by side they remain through the final turn. And Colby concedes. He doesn't even have attack mode. He's only using push to pass. And he takes the lead anyway. Brilliant! Fighting for the lead on the penultimate lap. This is a magnificent last stand from the 37. Defending from Labarton and Ericsson. As you can see, the AJ Foyt and the McLaren drivers both swarming all over the back of the Sims high-speed car, Sims Motorsport, rebranding to Manthe Racing for the next season in INDYCAR, remaining as Sims next season in Formula E. As we ride on board with the 8 of Linus Ericsson in the slipstream of Labarton. He doesn't really have to fight for the lead today, but, you know, he's a racing driver. And there's nothing more that he wants to do than win, as Labarton around the outside using push to pass, taking the lead here in Twin Ring Motegi. Linus looking for a way to get past Niven here. A win for Linus Ericsson would wrap it up. It would wrap it up no matter what Colby he does. If Ericsson is in front, that ends it. He's closing up into 130R. He's doing the same thing that he did on lap 11. He's going to go for the lunge here through the Casio chicane. And they're still alongside each other coming out of it. This time, Colby covers him off. And basically says to the Swede, not yet. Here he goes with the tandem onto the final lap. Ericsson is second. And he is going for the championship today. He's closing up to the back of Gabriel. Pulls into the slipstream through the S's. Can he take victory in the race that currently would guarantee him the championship? Through turn 6 he comes now. And he's losing a bit of time to Gabriel, likely due to the tyre wear, but they've both got similarly worn mediums. They're at 27% for the pair of them. Lam Fong has hit 13, but I don't think anyone will risk a puncture today. Ericsson is half a second behind, 6/10 off the back. Can he go for the victory here, or is it too late? Creel further back, 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. That is with Devin Butler, but out in front, Gabriel Labarton for AJ Foyt Enterprise is about to take that outfit's first race win in the entirety of the ERL IndyCar series. But the main storylines have gone to the 8. So as car number 19, Gabriel Labarton, is rounding the final turn to finally become an ERL race winner. Linus Ericsson, your Season 3 IndyCar champion. As you can see, they're fighting further back down. This isn't even for points. Side by side between Hudson and Micah. Millstars in the 11. Look at that. From Hudson to move up into 18th, effectively at the line. This is some great racing that we've seen all season long. And we've still got one more race to go in St. Louis. And this is the podium. Gabriel Barton taking his first career victory. A new race winner from the Philippines. If anything, I'm pretty sure that the Philippines is the country with the most ERL race winners. And possibly even drivers. Linus Eriksson comes across the line in second, and he was 7/10 off the back of Gabriel. And Niven Colby third for Sims High Speed. As for the rest of your finishers, Manny Medvec was fourth from Lam Fong and Carson Thornburg. Then it's Awful Catfish, Kui, Tommy, and Devin Butler. The fastest lap went to a driver outside of the top 10, so it was not classified as scoring points. Outside of the top 10, you've got Borkar, Lopez, Loco, and Shen from Sanchez, Creel, Gasly, and Hudson. Then it's you, Micah, Olsen, and Marino. So in the driver's standings, with a lead of 48 points, heading into the final round, Linus Eriksson is confirmed to be the Season 3 ERL INDYCAR Series champion in front of Niven Colby and Gabriella Barton. Then it's Awful Catfish, Akari Lopez, Max Bortkar, Carson Thornburg, Armand Creel, Manny Medvec, Dominic Hudson, Devin Butler, Loco, O'Quee, Daf Sanchez, Melsas Micah, Tommy, Bob Marino, Lam Fong, Ray Shen, Not Q, Gasly, and Lewis Olsen. In the constructors' standings, heading into the final round of the ERL IndyCar Series, Aaron McLaren SP leads, and they are just 30 points in front of AJ Foyt Enterprise. The constructors' battle still on, with the maximum amount of points a team can score next time out being 25 for the race win, 18 for second, and one more for the fastest lap, which adds up for a grand total of 48 points. Then it's Apex Pinnacle in third, 5 points in front of Sims High Speed, further 5 points in front of Hyperdrive BBX, who are tied with Chip Ganassi. Andretti Green is 7th from Team Penske, Revolution Racing, Maya Shank Racing, and Power Motorsport. We will see you guys next time then for the final round in IndyCar.